Welcome back to the NFL Draft Bible Player Spotlight Show. I am your host, Krishawn Hogan, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com. We are bringing you the names that you need to know for the 2017 NFL Draft. Of course, we are presented by the College Gridiron Showcase. Visit CGSAllstar.com, as well as the brand new and free NFLDraftBible.com website where you can find scouting reports, player interviews such as this one, and more. So again, NFLDraftBible.com. It's the place to be. And joining the Player Spotlight Show now is arguably the top small school wide receiver in the country. We're hitting up the NAIA ranks, where we can find 2017 NFL Draft prospect out of Marian University in Indianapolis. He's Krishawn Hogan. And Krishawn, we really appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule to join the show this afternoon. How's this draft process treating you?
It's been great so far. Being able to take the semester off school and just focus 100% on football outside of my family, and just give it my all has been great. And I think that I'm getting better because of it.
Now coming from an NAIA program in Marian, Krishawn, I know it's the dream for just about every college athlete to go pro in their respective sport. But not very often do we see guys from NAIA go to the NFL. When did it hit you that you had a legit shot at furthering your playing career and getting a look in the National Football League?
Well, I had a belief I could do it for a long time, growing up in high school. But I would say, really, really believing that I had a good shot was just once I got to college my freshman year, and I was starting for the first time, and I was able to make some pretty big plays for my team that freshman year, and then just each year, able to do more than I was the year before, and just the numbers I was putting up, I realized that I could do this and be pretty good at it.
And how did you ultimately end up at Marian University? Coming out of high school, what was the whole recruiting process like for you?
For me, I didn't really get recruited very strong because I went to a powerhouse high school, and I wasn't able to get on the field until my senior year. And also, I had a really big growth spurt going into my senior year. I went from about, 5'9", 5'10", to about 6'2" in a couple months. So I was really skinny and, a little bit awkward just growing into my new body. So not a whole lot of recruits. People didn't, they seen I was an athlete, but a lot of teams, small school, wanted to, maybe try me on defense or this and that. But Marian was the one school that I was really looking at. I had a couple teammates from high school go there, and but all the coaches ended up leaving, and they went to Walsh University, University in Canton, Ohio. So I ended up going to Walsh University on financial aid and academic scholarship, and just ended up playing there my freshman year and transferring after that to Marian when I came back home.
Well, 263 receptions, over 4,500 total yards, and 68 total touchdowns during your time with the Marian Knights football team. Your name is all over the record books. You've made tons of plays over the years. You're even a part of a NAIA national championship a couple years ago in which you hauled in 11 receptions for 147 yards and a score against Southern Oregon. Are you happy with the mark that you left on the Marian University football program?
Oh yeah, I'm very happy with the mark I left, and hopefully was a good leader and a good captain this senior year for the young guys. But yeah, I couldn't be any happier with the mark I left. We had some good guys before me, Kevin Lake, which was a great player and just a great leader, and I learned a lot from him. So just being able to learn from the guys that came before me, and then just to keep going after they left, and now being in the position I'm in, I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, I remember this around this time last year. I had the center from Marian, Zach Mitchell, on the program. So obviously you guys produce a lot of talent, a lot of big time players, and to say what you bring to the table, to say you bring a lot to the table would be an understatement, Krishawn. Obviously, you bring the size, you bring the speed, you bring the big time playmaking ability, which is always nice to have at the receiver position. But talk about the versatility you can bring to a team. I mean, you did a lot of damage in the running game as 25 of your 68 career touchdowns came on the ground.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big receiver, but, I really like and take pride in catching the short route and then getting, yards after the catch. If you watch my highlight tape, a lot of the plays were, screen passes where I caught the ball at, behind the line of scrimmage and then just had to make something happen with the blocking in front of me. And, that's actually one of my favorite routes, just those shorter routes. But as far as, running the ball and going back to Wildcat quarterback, I don't know how much that would be used in the NFL, but it definitely was fun getting back there to do it. I was kind of surprised when my coach brought it to me. But and I was kind of nervous, actually, too. I just hadn't, been a running back-style player in a while. So taking that direct snap and running with it was a little bit different for me. Hadn't done it so long, but it was a lot of fun. After the first time I did it, I scored. And that just gave me a lot of confidence. So after that, I really, felt like there was nothing I could do.
Well, you said, you don't know if you're really going to be doing that much at the next level, but obviously it cannot hurt. It cannot hurt at all. Obviously, the more you can do, the better. Now, Krishawn, I know you were able to participate in the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl last month in Los Angeles. What was that whole experience like, being able to go toe-to-toe with some of the top prospects in the country, and how do you feel you fared against that competition?
That experience was great. I couldn't really have asked for a better opportunity to get out there and just, play with these kids who have been, under Division I programs for 4 years. And it was just great getting to, go to the practices and, getting, really good coaches with a lot of experience to coach me. And, definitely the speed of the game was a little bit faster, but I didn't really have a problem picking up to it. I just realized it. And I just realized that, not that I ever took plays off at Marian, but even more so, at the All-Star game, I realized that you can't ever take a play off or, you'll stand out as the guy that did that each play. So I learned that. But, as far as the skill level, I felt like I fit right in. And, I'm big, so I didn't really feel like I was, lacking physically. And I felt like I'd had a really good week. Practices, first couple of days I didn't get really any deep routes, get to show what I could do going down the field. But I just try to, focus on being physical with the smaller corners and catching everything that came my way. And then later on in the week, I had some deeper opportunities and made some plays. So it was a great week. And, hopefully I was able to make a name for myself while I was out there.
Well, I think you absolutely did. I mean, your stock has been through the roof ever since. And you talk about, not taking plays off, and I think that, like you said, it kind of goes more so for all-star games like the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl, because you never know when your next or your last snap or your next snap will be. I mean, you never know when they're going to switch you in and out with these other guys at these all-star events. Were you able to meet with any scouts? I mean, what have those conversations been like for you, Krishawn? What are scouts telling you? What are you hearing about the way teams are looking at you right now?
Coming from a smaller school, I think just a lot of people want to get to, they want to get to know me. They haven't heard a lot about me. So I just got, a lot of questions about, my family, the lifestyle I grew up living, what high school is like for me. They're just asking all those background questions. And then they want to know how I was coached at Marian and, what pushed me to try to keep getting better and better and those type of questions. Mm-hmm. The feedback I've been getting is, that obviously I'm big and, that's what has been getting a lot of attraction. But everybody wants to see what I can run. So, all the scouts, they all say, they all question, am I fast enough? Am I fast enough? And I've been training for, 7 weeks now. I got one more week of training before the combine. And, I really plan on going out there and showing that I'm fast enough to play with anybody and answering that question.
And you know what? Let's piggyback off right there. I mean, you are training at Exos, getting ready for the NFL Combine later in the month, getting ready for that Purdue Pro Day. How is training going? And do you have any specific goals written down anywhere? Any specific numbers that you want to hit at these events?
Training's going great so far. I love the schedule. It's the same every day, but that's really worked. The structure has worked for me. And the guys that are training me, I couldn't ask for anything better. They're focusing on, any type of weakness or, they're trying to turn anything into a strength. And so it's been going great so far. I've already seen a lot of improvement. As far as goals, I just want to go out there and just, trust my training and just put my best foot forward. And I think if I do that, then I'll be, above average in every category, and which might shock some people. But yeah, I think that I'll have overall a really good combine if I'm able to go out there and do what I've trained for these last 7 weeks.
Again, we're chatting with the 2017 NFL Draft prospect, wide receiver, and really all-around offensive weapon. Just get this man the ball out of Marian University. He's Krishawn Hogan here on the NFL Draft Bible Player Spotlight Show. Don't forget you can check out this interview as well as more NFL Draft material over at NFLDraftBible.com. Talking about opponents over the past 4 years, Krishawn, who do you feel is the best player that you've lined up against? Is there anybody that sticks out to you?
The player I always looked forward to playing against was his name was Darius Price. He's a corner from Siena Heights, and most corners, in any level, I'm going to be bigger than them. Mm-hmm. But this kid is 6'2", 215, 220 as a corner, and on top of that, he can turn and run. So he's not a bad player at all, and he always goes really hard against me because I lead the conference in all the reception categories. So he always wants to go out there and just do his best competing and showing everybody that he's a good player. So over the last 3 years, we've battled, and it's been fun. I think he's a great player from Siena Heights.
Okay, yeah, that's a matchup you both circle on your calendar each and every year. If you had to choose one game out of your entire collegiate career for NFL scout to go back and watch, what would that game be? Is there a game that you have in mind that you would like to show others when they ask to just point out one certain game?
Well, most recently this year, I would say the University of Indianapolis game or the St. Francis, Indiana game, just because those were our two biggest opponents. And I was able to, I really wanted to have big games those games. I was able to have pretty good games against both those teams. And then the national championship from last year, you read those stats off last year. That was a huge moment for me, just for a lot of reasons, winning that game for my team and family. But then in the past, I would say my sophomore year, first year at Marian, where I gained a lot of confidence was we played a Division III school, Wisconsin Oshkosh, and I don't look as good physically back then my sophomore season. But the last drive of the game, I had like 3 or 4 catches, and then ended up catching the game-winning catch with about 3 seconds left. So I've always been proud of that game, and I kind of look back at that moment as like the moment that just really gave me a lot of confidence in myself and belief to just keep going.
Yeah, hey, I mean, what do they say? Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments, and you've certainly done that throughout the years, Krishawn. What do you feel separates you from any of the other wide receivers in this year's draft class? I mean, you kind of already mentioned it. I mean, you're kind of an unknown to most around the draft circles. Obviously, NFL scouts are more than familiar with you, and that's why you got that NFL Combine invite. But what do you feel separates you from any of the other wide receivers in this year's draft class?
Well, my size and speed with that I still plan on showing at the Combine. I feel like, a lot of people are going to be impressed with that. But aside from that, I would say that, the path that I took to get to, to this point now is a lot different than, a lot of other guys who are trying to make it to the next level. I just feel like I went through a lot and to get here, it was just a long journey, and it gave me, it just made me a better person all around, and it taught me to grow up and be a man. So I would say that, I have no plan on stopping now, and I just want to keep getting better on and off the field. And I think that, if I had the chance to do that in the NFL, I could, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, I mean, certainly you certainly know the definition of hard work and the grind, without a doubt, just making it this far, coming from the NAIA ranks and a very respectful school in the NAIA in Marian University. Is there a current or former NFL player, NFL wide receiver that you kind of try and model your game after, maybe take bits and pieces of their game and add it onto your own?
I watch a lot of, highlight tapes, and, when I'm watching NFL games now, I try to watch receivers and see what they do. But the one receiver that I like to watch the most is Julio Jones, just because, to me, he's the best combination of size and speed and athletic ability that you're going to find in the NFL, especially at the wide receiver position. And there's just nothing on the field that he can't do. So I just feel like if I watch his game and, can learn, here and there from what he does, it's going to make me better.
Hey, I don't even know if it's an argument or not, but I'll go out and say the best wide receiver in the NFL. Cannot go wrong with that. And final question for you, Krishawn. Really do appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule. Let's say we have all 32 NFL general managers. They're tuned in to this very interview. Why should they want the wide receiver out of Marian University in Indianapolis, Krishawn Hogan, a part of their organization?
I would tell them that, if they look, from high school to now, each year I've taken huge steps in the off season to get better. And, just learning from the year before and during the off season, just looking at what can I do to get better. And each year I think I've gotten better in an area that I wasn't the strongest at in the year before. So if I can just keep on doing that, then, I'm just going to keep getting better and better. Even if the competition is a little bit, it's going to be a lot better than NFL. I'm just going to keep getting better, and I can be a big time player for a lot of teams.
Well, Krishawn, congratulations on all the success. Certainly well deserved, and to say that you've worked very hard to make it this far, I think would be an understatement. But we really do appreciate you taking some time to join the show and talk a little bit about your process, talk a little bit about your collegiate career with us. And we're going to be keeping an eye out for you, man. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's my pleasure.